Hello, everybody, and welcome to It's Not About the Watch. Actually, today it is about the watch. So, basically, what I thought I would do is I think like maybe once a week, um, I will showcase a couple of watches um, just to show you guys what I wear, what's part of my life on a daily basis. And so let's get started. This is a American Classic Spirit of Liberty Auto. As usual with most Hamilton watches, it's like a really long name for the watch. But what are you going to do? This is basically when I was working in the orchestra. Uh, this is my daily watch. I took this on stage every day, and I apologize for the fingerprints, but it's hot here, and it's just like if I look at this thing, it gets prints on it. There you see the really wonderful Hamilton H10 movement, obviously based on being a part of the Swatch group, based on the Powermatic 80. But really, their rendering of it is quite beautiful. Really, really nice finishing work. See if the rotor cooperates with me. Yeah, just really beautiful. And everyone talks about their laser trimming for the for the regulating. But I found, at least my example of AH10 movement, to be extremely accurate. Okay, we're talking about maybe a deviation of 10 to 15 seconds a day, maybe. So it's really very close. I have not had any problem with accurate timekeeping with this watch, especially just over months and months and months of use. Okay. What else? Sapphire crystal. It has the almost regulatory 5 bar water resistance. And of course, this always makes me laugh. But keep in mind that 5 bar is like half the length of a football field. So if we're going to take Hamilton at their word, I think we can get it a little bit wet, and it's not going to make any difference at all. This is 42 millimeters in diameter, and we have a nice even 22 millimeter lug width. I don't recall the lug to lug, but I'll put on my wrist here, and you can see that everything, the reflection, which is something we'll talk about. But anyway, it wears really nicely for me. Has a white date window. Just really kind of it's kind of like a everyday kind of piece. It just really seems to work with everything. When I wore it in the orchestra, I didn't wear it for concerts because it doesn't really go with my tux. But it just basically wears really well with everything else. Here you have the signed crown. Just a great everyday watch. The styling of this watch is supposed to harken back to their early days, and I did research as best as I could relative to what their early watches actually looked like, because they talk about Pennsylvania and all of that. And these kind of needle markers on the dial, you saw those in the mid 50s, early 50s, early 60s, and you could see where the influence was. But anyway, yeah, just really classic styling. So there you go. just a great everyday watch. This is not the original band that it came on. The original band has one of those auto folding clasps, so you don't have to do the buckle thing all the time. But unfortunately, eventually, I needed a new strap for that clasp, and they want like 110 euros for it, and I said no thanks. So I got this beautiful Spanish leather strap, and unfortunately, I can't really make out the name. I just got it from my local jeweler. But anyway, Spanish leather, just a really very comfortable, very soft, and it goes beautifully with that sunburst blue dial. So there you go. Now, the other watch that I want to show you guys is, I guess, my version of a field watch. It has a compass bezel. If anyone knows how to use those, I'm sure there are lots of videos that will tell you how to use them. I always diligently look up how to use a compass bezel with, it's like I refuse to have a complication on my watch that I don't know how to use. So eventually I will relearn how to use a compass bezel, but being that I never use it, I forget how to use it again, and I have to look it up again. What are you going to do? Anyway, so this is Seiko's Prospects. It's part of their land collection. And one of the reasons I got this, because despite the, well, one of the reasons I got this watch, basically because it was just kind of badass. You had the pilot style instrumentation, hands, even with a chronometer. Legibility is just always excellent. And it was one of the few chronographs that still does tenths of a second, in this case 20ths of a second. So I thought that was pretty cool. What else? This originally came on a metal bracelet, which wasn't bad, but not great. It was fine, but in the end, I just wanted something that was kind of more all-terrain, so to speak. So I put on this nylon strap. For those of you who haven't used nylon straps, I can tell you that they're just really, really comfortable. At least this one is. I actually use this watch when I go swimming, and anything else that I use for an outdoor activity. It is kind of a big boy at 44 millimeters, but like a lot of Seiko watches, they don't wear that big in the end. I also use this, sometimes I use this also to play tennis, obviously on my non-dominant hand. And it just wears quite well. It's not exactly a cushion case back, but kind of. Anyway, on the back, it has ground to air emergency signal codes. So check that out. I don't know why I would ever use that, but if I ever did, there they are. So also, the nice thing about this watch is that for a chronograph, it's one of the few chronographs that I've seen that actually has a 20-meter water resistance. And look at those pushers. Just really chunky and solid, almost Gshock-ish, but metal. Just a very tough watch. Anything involving the outdoors, hiking, mountain climbing, etc. This is the watch that I use. This is basically my outdoor watch. And it is also solar, as you can see by the dial. Just a great, tough watch, sporty, and I like it a lot.